What's up, Rain? How's it going, man? What up? What up? Appreciate it, Kyle. Xander, what's up, man? Caught a beautiful long yesterday. You took a trade? Yeah, I tried to take a short, got stopped out, and then we took a long for basically a break-even day. I think I was plus 89 across all my accounts. Not really. Um, Happy to not be red, but plus 89 across all accounts. What's up, Sammy? Ryan, I got you. Okay. What up? What up? Got 5 payouts now, but I am copy trading 3 accounts for the first time. I'm already up 500 for the day. Do I lock out? Um, I, in terms of my personal rules, man, yes. Because the way that I do it, here's my trading rules. If I take a trade and I lose that trade, I take one more trade on the day. Win or lose, I'm done. Uh, if I take a trade and I win the first trade, I'm done. So I don't try to press my luck. I don't try to get greedy. Um, Yesterday, obviously, I was only up. I took a trade, lost. Took one more trade, made profit, and I called it a day. There was another setup I could have taken, minded my rules, didn't do it. So in terms of my specific um, rules, that's what I would do. I would be done for the day if I was you. But you do what you want, man. It's up to you to develop a set of rules that, when you stick to them, they they allow you to make money. That's the whole goal. That's the whole idea of having rules. So if your rules say, "Hey, 2 winning trades and I'm done," then that can be your rules. I mean, you can set them however you want, but don't lie to yourself and set rules that you're setting simply because you want to scratch an itch. Set rules that'll actually protect you. If you say, well, if I can set these rules to have 2 winning trades instead of just one, if you're doing that just out of greed or out of some sort of need to take another trade, that's not really being honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself and say, what's going to cause me to make the most money in the long run and prevent me from blowing accounts? Buying 3 options of QQQ today. There you go. Yo, long live today, isn't it? And you got the schedule down pat, bro. Uh, I don't think I actually even have a 12 o'clock class today, but I do have a finals review sheet that I need to really work on and study for my Japanese class. So um, I'm not sure how long the stream will be today, but it won't have to end early like it normally does. So hi, the Apex code is for until when? I think tonight. I think tonight is when it ends. Midnight tonight. Or it could be today at noon. Let me see. Uh, let's see. December 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So today at midnight is when it ends. On my first Apex 50K, are you on, is that an eval? If you're on an eval, you're well over the profit target. 3K is the profit. Oh, PA. With the 50Ks, I target 5,200 profit, and then I take a 2K payout. So every time it hits 5,200 profit, I take a 2K payout. And I just keep cycling like that. I usually go for about 600. I target $600 a day, and as soon as the account hits 4,200 in profit, I take a payout. That leaves you enough buffer. That leaves you enough wiggle room where you're still, like, for the next payout cycle, you don't have to worry about. It just really removes any sort of issues that you have. How fast do you try and pass an evaluation? I don't focus on that. I mean, the faster the better, obviously, but I don't focus on that. I just focus on taking good trades and being robotic with my risk management and with my rules. How do you trade on TradingView? What do you mean, Ryan? Thinking about switching from Top Step to Apex to Scale, but I hate Trade-A-Bait. Can you make a bid on it? Yeah, I mean, trading on TradingView is easy. You just there's a buy sell button in the top left corner for placing market orders, or you can set limit orders right here. It's super easy. Is it the same as my funded futures evaluation? No, my funded futures are different. Every firm has different evaluation and funded rules. You got to look at the specific rules. I have two my funded future accounts right now, and I can't remember exactly what the rules are. I really can't remember. If I said something, they all run together. I'm fully funded on Apex and TPT, and then I have Tradeify, my funded futures, Alpha futures. So, I mean, I get all the rules mixed up. You'll have to look at them individually and figure out what they are. How do you take partials on TradingView? If you're in for, let's say you're in for 3 contracts and you want to take 2 of them off, you can, in the top left corner, you can set it for 2, quantity of 2, and buy or sell, or you can just set the quantity for 2 and then right click, and you'll see right there it says sell 2 or buy 2. I mean, whichever. Pretty easy. How much funded is your Apex? All my Apex accounts are 50K. Do you calculate lots, or did you ever calculate them? I don't trade Forex anymore, so I don't do lots. We do contracts and futures. You link all of them together or trade them separately. Link them all together. That's what I do. A lot of people advise against that. I do it. I do it. Bias towards shorts or longs today. I'm pretty bullish, to be honest, but I was wrong yesterday. It's the first time I've gotten like the overall daily movement price action wrong in a while. I flipped my bias pretty quickly though. I tried to short. I took a short yesterday, got stopped out for negative 100 or negative 400, and then I took a long and made 500 or close to 500. I was positive 89 across all my accounts yesterday, so pretty much a break-even day. This is NQ right here, yeah. Yeah, this is NQ. Do you use TradeSync? Yes, I do. Yeah, but I mean, you can look at it like that, Ryan, but per account, I mean, $89 per account. It's like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a more positive way to look at it. I look at it individually. There was a setup that got spotted here with PJ's indicator. This long right here with the entry, and TP2 is up there. I actually like this setup better on the 2-hour though. The entry was right here, and I think it's gonna play out up to potentially this area, but I'm not going solely off this indicator. I just think it's interesting to see what it spots. I can see us rejecting off this 1 hour, coming back down into this area. There's a 1 hour gap in here. I don't know if you can see this right here. Excuse me, a 2 hour gap. There's a 2 hour gap right there. could see us bouncing, pushing back into that, and then rejecting higher, potentially. We'll see. I'm going to leave that there just because I want to see it. Can you use Trade Syncer with Platform X accounts? I am not sure. We're bouncing back and forth between NQ and ES, so whatever looks the most clean. We got a lot of liquidity here. You can see I have all that marked out. There's a lot in both directions here. I'm more bullish, but again, I don't marry my bias. I just wait for the market to open and show me what it wants to do. How do you get that indicator? Go to PJ Trades Discord. Excuse me. Why do I keep saying that? Go to PJ Trades TikTok or his Instagram, and the link is in the bio. McGarry, keep it simple. The settings, just keep it simple, man. The add-ons that I have, I use the bookmap data, and when you hit configure add-ons, you can then select manage add-on or manage add-ons. The 2 or 3 that I use are Trade Map Lite, which allows you to, it's supposed to filter out a lot of the BS, like the bot orders and things like that. Liquidity Tracker. It says Liquidity Tracker free, and then Liquidity Marker. Those are the 3 that I use. And if you bounce over to the YouTube, you'll see exactly what my book map looks like, what I'm looking at specifically, so you can see if yours is set up correctly. The YouTube is Christian Trades Live, so youtube.com/@ChristianTradesLive if you want to check that out. You trade funded? Yeah, I do, Chase. Yeah. Do I golf? No, man, but I need to get into it. I did when I was little. Used to take golf lessons very briefly when I was little, and I need to get back into it. I don't really have time for much of anything, man. When I'm not doing school or trading, I'm sleeping or working out or eating. It's about all I have time for these days. But I definitely will be getting into golf at some point. A couple of my brothers and my dad golf a lot, so I think it'd be fun to golf with them. What's up, Jeff? How's it going, man? What's your bias? Coop, what up? My bias is bullish, but again, that doesn't mean a whole lot. Yesterday I was off on my assessment, so I'm not going to marry that. I'm going to just take what the market gives me, see what it looks like in market open. We don't really have news today. We have no red folder news, so we'll see. Kyle, yes. You're funny, man. Chase, appreciate it, man. Same to you. You trading today? What's up, Swish? How's it going, man? Swish? Yeah, Swish. What's up, Swish? You'd think I'd have your name right by now. My bad, bro. What's the recommendation to someone who's thinking about trading and knows nothing about it? Watch me. Not saying that because I want more viewers. I honestly think if you watch me, I explain enough of the basics and exemplify enough of the discipline that'll help you out. And spend a lot of time on the educational side of things on YouTube. Before you spend any money, don't spend any money. Literally, don't spend any money. Just watch YouTube, watch somebody trade live, listen to what they have to say, listen to what they're seeing, pay attention to the questions that other people are asking, and be a really good student for several weeks. And then what I recommend is you getting a TradeAvate paper account. This is TradeAvate, or excuse me, TradingView. This is TradingView. It's a website, tradingview.com, and you can sign up with them and get a free paper account that comes with your sign up. It'll be delayed data. So you could screw around with it for a while. Your data is going to be 15 minutes delayed. So you can screw around with it if you want, but just know that your data is delayed. Or if you wanted to start spending any money, the first bit of money you would spend is about $10 to pay for live data, CME data. And it would give you live charts so you see exactly what all the other traders are seeing in terms of live market data, and practice the principles that you're learning from education and from watching somebody else trade. Do that. If you can be green consistently for, a couple weeks, couple months, then I'd say get a prop firm account, a very cheap prop firm account, and try your hand at passing one of those. Missy, yeah, dude, it's raining so bad here right now, and I got a little hike to get to class. Can't ride the scooter in the rain, so I got to walk it. Not ideal. I'm hoping it stops by 3:30 when my Japanese class is. Dean, what up? Yeah, Jeff, I moved. So what you typically would see is this right here, I think. Something like that, basically, like this. But I tried to make it so you could see more of it. So that should be right there. Nope. Right there. So yeah, tried to give you more of the data that I'm looking at down there, the CBD and bids and asks and the differential and all that. I thought it was price, Kyle. I thought it was all of it. I thought it was all delayed. I know a guy that started trading a prop firm and he was getting cooked. He was like, dude, I don't understand. I saw that he was trading delayed data, and I'm like, come on. Usually trade 2 hours, typically from 9:30 to about 11:30. So yeah, 11:30. What number is London and Asia highs on NQ? Well, we just swept London. That looks complicated. It's not. There we go. I'm going to take this 2 hour entry out of here just because. London was 25,508.75. And Asia's already been swept over here. The next high is this buy side from the 6:15 when market opened on Sunday. And then one after that is here's the 6:15 or 6:18, whatever it was on Sunday. 25,546. One above that is 25,597. Yeah, I figured people, Jeff, I figured people would get a little bit more use out of seeing all of that data, seeing exactly what I use. Can you explain the PJ Trades indicator package, and is it worth it? What's the win rate? Dude, I'd say it's worth it. So far, I mean, I don't get anything out of telling you this, but I would throw it in the tool belt. I think when you use that indicator in conjunction with Bookmap, as long as you have discipline and good risk management, you got a pretty good winning formula right there. We trading NQ today? Potentially. We got ES and NQ. They're looking pretty much in lockstep with each other. So both just swept London. Sean, I did. I took one, got stopped out for negative 400, and then took one more and made almost 500. So plus 89 on the day is the way I finished across all my accounts. I tried to take a short and then realized that wasn't happening, at least in the time period that I was trying to take it. I think it was around like 12:30 right here. I think I tried to short this move right here and then got stopped out. And then, or no, I tried to short this move, I think. It was not long after I got off of this with you guys. But then I took a long and made 500, just shy of 500. What's up, Randall? How's it going, man? So when are we seeing the book, man? I don't have any crazy settings, but I do need to make a video on it, man. I do. What's the name of the indicator? It's you have to go to PJ Trades TikTok to get it, but that's the name of it. You can't just search it up and get it. So the name is kind of irrelevant. It's not going to do you any good to know the name. You need to go to his PJ Trades. You see that name right there? Search him on TikTok or on Instagram, and he should have the link in his bio to the indicator. It spotted this long right here pretty nicely. But if you're looking for the win rate and stuff, I have that. I mean, different time frames have different win rates. So this dashboard that I keep hidden because it clusters this chart so much. But yeah, I'm doing well, Rando. Hope you are too, man. Appreciate it. It shows the win rates of each time frame and each setup. A setup, A plus setup, A plus plus, long trades, short trades, total trades. Gives you a checklist of all the different things to look for in that setup, and it'll mark them off or automatically. So pretty cool. I gotta turn my air off. It's blowing super hard. No face, I would say the people who it's going to be most useful for. Did you lock the plant in the basement again? No, it's still sitting over there. You have to pay taxes on this? Yes. The people who this indicator is going to be the most useful for are the people who are learning learning to spot these setups. They're pretty new to all of this, and they want to learn how to spot these things. You need added help doing that live. If you're already trading this way, I mean, even for me though, it's helpful. I've been trading this stuff, I mean, anybody who's been in here with me will tell you, what do you look for? I look for a V-shaped recovery. I look for a high time frame PD array. I look for a liquidity sweep. You know, S&T is an added bonus. We want a clear draw on liquidity, which, I mean, this checklist basically goes down everything that I look for personally in a trade. So for me, the reason I got it, it's helpful because when I'm engaging with you guys in the chat, it helps me not to miss anything, because I've missed numerous trades from just engaging with the chat and, you know, not paying as close attention as I could have been. But I don't want to not engage with you guys. I want to be able to answer questions and tell you guys what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing without missing a setup. So it kind of, for me, it's helpful in that regard. Has just for this time frame, that's how that's worked out. That's telling you how it's played out. 15-minute, it's played out that way on the 15, 1 hour. NQ is different. That was a yes, so NQ is different. A setup 70% there. I mean, it just bounces around, man. It's different. I had an A++ setup that I took yesterday that didn't play out because it was a counter trend trade. So it's not going to give you. You still have to do some work. You can't just blind trust the. Can't just blind trust the indicator. You still have to use your analytical skills. What's up, Ani? Leo, you go to PJ Trades Discord. Why do I say that? PJ Trades TikTok. this guy, and the link will be in his bio. You can't. It's not one you can just search up and get. It's not free. I mean, you'll see it, I think, in the indicator list, but it'll be locked. What's the V-shaped recovery? This is a V-shaped recovery right here. This is a V-shaped recovery. So you got a sweep down here of a major level. Get this V-shaped recovery out of that. That's a V-shaped recovery. What is the cost of the indicator? $100 a month. Pretty pricey, but one trade could pay for it. Any activation fees on Apex right now, it's $40. It's $10 for a 100K account, $40 for all the others. But that ends tonight at midnight. Guys, the Apex sale that they have going on, 80% off, ends at midnight tonight. It's counting this 30-minute as a high time frame fair value gap. It's 30-minute that we're bouncing out of. I think there's also a 1 hour potentially above us here. Yeah, there's a 1 hour right here that we're delivering out of too. So this is calling for a long on the 1 hour chart. The 2 hour chart was what I was looking at. There's a long setup right here. Yeah, right here. This is kind of what I'm seeing potentially. I'm going to keep an eye on this. I want to see us potentially drive down into this level and then potentially drive out of it. We did just sweep that London high, and we're getting a pretty strong reversal here. So I don't know. I'm just going to be super patient and let things play out. I'm going to clean up this chart a little bit because I don't like this dashboard being there for the stream. Of course, I need to use the bathroom right as we're about to have market open. BCS, go to at the top of the book map where it says settings, go to configure add-ons, and then where it says manage add-ons, click that. Select bookmap add-ons and scroll all the way down, and it should be there. Nah, fast breakfast, Swish. Fast. All right, market's live. Let's do this. Bookmap is choppy looking today, man. Super choppy. Strong dump right there. It is, Juan. It is PJ's indicator. I hate to do this, man, but I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna let price. I don't take trades right at market open anyway, so I'm gonna let price play out a little bit, and I'll be right back. My bad, guys. All right. It's a quick one if I was, wasn't it? It's impressive. What fair value gap indicator to use? I use the IFVG, FEG, IFVG, Nephew Sam. How expensive is Apex? All in right now for a 50K account, it's about 89 bucks. So I think it's 79 bucks. It's 39 for the eval and about 40 for the it is 40 for the activation. The 100K account is 69 all in. It's only a $10 activation fee for all the 100Ks. Every other size is a $40. But that all the Apex sales end tonight at midnight. Yeah, Brady. This coffee will do it, man. This is ES right here. NQ's right here. NQ, we have a pretty strong decoupling going on at the moment. NQ is pushing up. ES is dipping. So I'd just be super patient here, guys. I'm going to take that off the screen because I don't want anybody to... I'm not encouraging a trade right now. I'd say be super patient. It'd be better to miss a trade than to take a trade here and get stopped out. So just let price play out and be super patient. That's the name of the game of trading, man. That's how you're going to find more success, is just sitting on your hands. CME is what you want in the future. You want CME data. Ryan, I don't believe that the 80% off, it'll go away at least briefly. So the code, any code won't work for a while. They might, I'm sure they always have a sale going on, but I think what will happen after this specific sale ends tonight, it'll go back to like 70% off, and the activation fee will probably go back up to 140 bucks or whatever it is. That's typically what the most common sale is. It'll be 70% off, and then the activation fee is 140. So it gets a lot more expensive. It makes sense to wait for sales. I paid for Bookmap and the data, but why can't I get the actual heat map? You mean you're not seeing this right here, Tyler or Ty? You got to download the software. You have the software downloaded? No. If you use the code right now, if you use the code, Ryan, right now to buy it, look at this. We're pumping. That was a little manipulation. So we had some accumulation, manipulation, and a little distribution going on here. Not a whole lot of tremendous accumulation here on ES. Bookmap looks so weird right now, to be honest. It's really strange looking. At least the light map is. Ton of liquidity underneath us. Bunch of liquidity higher on NQ, bunch of liquidity lower on ES. Have you downloaded the software, Ty? Are you like in the software, in the Bookmap software? So you need to go to where it says connections at the top. Make sure Bookmap data right there is selected. Or if it's not, click configure and sign into your Bookmap data there. Let me know if you've done that. I'll try to walk you through this. Samad, I'm bullish, but I thought we were going to get a stronger pullback than this. Maybe we will after these levels here. I was looking for a pullback into this 2-hour gap down here. See it right there. I have it marked out. Wanted to see a pullback into here. We came close to it, but didn't get it all the way down in there. And then I was hoping to take this long up to London high, but right now it's just running. So we're just going to be patient. I have trouble running that on a laptop. I ended up having to go buy a pretty beefy MacBook to be able to run Bookmap. Most normal laptops, unless you got some serious processing power and all that, it's going to have a little bit of a hard time running multiple different platforms at the same time. Market departed without me. That's a good way to describe it, like a train. You doing all right, Nathan? How do you find your bias? I look at the higher time frame PD arrays. I look at the way the market's been behaving recently. I look at the pre-market, the pre-New York AM session action. Look for where the draws and liquidity are. Those are kind of the steps that I take. But really, establishing a bias like that, I don't think is like totally important, because you can have a bias all you want. The market's going to do what it wants to do. So what I recommend doing is after market open, with first 15 minutes to 30 minutes, kind of figure out what the market is thinking for the day, or at least for that session, and try to get in on something that it's, after it showed you its hand. We just chasing? No, I wouldn't chase. Never chase, man. Never chase. I'm going to clean some of this up. We took London. We took this 6:15 candle from market open Sunday night. We took this previous New York AM session. We took London high on NQ. We left the New York PM up there, or excuse me, ES. Got a 5-minute getting ready to form right here in the next 3.5. We're in this 15-minute gap here. Strong rejection out of that. So we'll see what we get here. I'm going to turn on PJ's indicator just to get an idea of what that's seeing. Yeah, Mark, that's typically the way that I do it. You get a Bible verse? Yeah, for sure. Let's see what NQ is talking here. Bouncing out of this 30-minute here on NQ, or at least we're getting held up a bit on it. This is from Proverbs 11:25. The generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will they themselves be refreshed. And this is from 1 Samuel 12:24. But be sure to fear the Lord and serve him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things he has done for you. Amen. That's so funny. As soon as I read that, I get a Bible notification on my phone. It's kind of wild. Like literally the moment that I read it. I don't know if you can see that on the tube over there. Amen. Isn't that wild? Kind of crazy. What up, 50? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Same to you, bro. Had to switch from the TikTok live over here so you can have you on. There you go. I think that's a better view too over there on the tube. You get the book map. The camera that I use on YouTube is different than the camera I use for TikTok. It's obviously a lot lower quality, but eventually I'll upgrade that. Planning to upgrade the setup here and going into the new year. I built a new PC last night because this one's been kind of not giving me issues, but it's pretty much at its limit with everything that I have going on at the same time when I'm streaming. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this PC set up for streaming, and then I'll have the other one for charting and all this. We'll see. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but I built one last night. Haven't ordered it yet, but PJ indicator showing longs. Yeah, off of this entry right here. Yeah, it is. We have 14 minutes until this hourly candle closes to be able to potentially invert this previous 1 hour gap here. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, it did close right there. Inverted it right there. And then we tapped back into it. So longs are looking really nice right here, to be completely honest. If we get a pull back into this range, I might be tempted to give it a go. It's a pretty strong rejection down to 25,570 there. Let's see what the ES book map is pretty dead to the downside right here. On ES, Rando, are you looking at ES? NQ does have some orders to the downside there. ES is pretty dead past the 68.38 level, around there, 68.40. Not totally convinced of this. Let's see, I'm gonna mark this inversion out. It's 1 hour inversion here. And then a 1 hour inside of that. Yeah, that BPR right there, dude. This is juicy, to be completely honest. That actually is a really nice long right there. Tap back into this 1 hour and I'll potentially take an entry on this. I'd say the 68.40 area, 68.40 to 68.42. That area is probably where I want to take a stab. We might not get a pullback though. I want to get a deeper dig into this right here so that I can have my stops just below it. Otherwise, this is kind of a long stop. I don't want it to be that long. 68.40 would be the ideal area. A lot of liquidity to the upside on on the book map for ES. NQ does have a lot of liquidity to the downside too. Here down to 25,550, which would be right in here. But that, if it pushes down there, that kind of coincides with this push down into the 1 hour. So let's see how we get it. Let's see the reaction we get in this level. Better to have a late entry than to be early and get stopped out. So let's just be super patient here, see what happens. This is ES. The inversions from the 1 hour, or was it the 2 hour? 1 hour from earlier right here. We created it with this, and then we inverted it right here. Still want to see a little bit of a deeper dig here. We did just take a ton of the liquidity lower. We got to dip down to 68.4250 there. We need to dip down to 68.40 would be nice. Here it comes into this area right here. And then we'll see how it reacts there. Nathan, yeah, I've been doing a little more ES recently. Still want to see a deeper dig here. It might reject right out of this level, and it might run without us, but I want a deeper dig just to be able to have a better stop. Yeah, I see what you're saying with this rejection out of this 4 hour here. Wow, that looks complicated. Messy. $68.40 is the key level I want to see here. Could just run without us. Support below, yeah. Yeah, a little trapped in this little channel here potentially. Just a deep, give me a deeper dig down into the, wow, my chest just cramped up. I think, Kita, I think I have all my chart colors and stuff in my Discord. Lucid, I'm looking for I'm pretty sure this long is what we want to see. I want to see a little bit of a deeper dig into this gap, and then a long out of it. This setup on the 2 hour that I saw pre-market here was what I really was interested. We're getting that dig right now. Let's see here. There's the 40 level. Now let's see if this is going to reject or go lower here. There's not a whole lot on Bookmap to the downside here. This is ES. Stop summoning it down. This thing is still calling shorts. A lot of liquidity above us here. To be honest, I like this for longs, man. I don't know though. Just gonna sit on my hands. Let's sit on my hands. What's up, Doc? How's it going? Bookmap's lit up to the upside on ES. So I'm not convinced right now, and the fact that I'm not convinced, from my experience, is better just to sit on your hands. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be patient. A lot of liquidity to the upside here. Mine got stopped out of setups. I hate that for you, man. Sloan, what up? Insta stopped out? How'd you get stopped out? Should be in profit right now if you took the entry that I called out there at 68.40. Yeah, if it's not red folder news, I really don't give it a whole lot of credence. Randall, is it orange folder? It's not even orange folder. I wouldn't worry about it. What's the lift today? Chest and tries. PJ indicator, yep, it is. Yep. I'm not going off of the indicator here. I wanted to potentially take a long at the 68.40. Would have been, I would have bottom ticked this at this point right here off of this if I had taken that entry. Bookmap is really lit up to the upside here, so this could run without us. I just wasn't fully convinced. Any advice for someone who's interested in looking into God? I would say start every day praying about it, man. To be honest, even if you don't believe right now, pray that you'll have some sort of spiritual awakening that will reveal His presence to you. And I'd also start reading the Bible, starting the gospel. Any of the books are good. I like John a lot. Mark is good. Luke is seen to be, from a historical perspective, one of the more accurate books. You could also read other books that will offer a perspective on the time period. That's just kind of getting in the weeds a little bit, but I mean, there's plenty of ancient Roman and Greek authors that were writing about stuff going on around the time of Jesus, and he's in the peripheral is mentioned. You know, Tacitus and Josephus and those guys. You read the Jewish Wars by Josephus, things like that mention Jesus and talk about that time period pretty extensively. Luke kind of matches up with that time period pretty well. You know, Luke supposedly was either commissioned to write the book of Luke, and he was using firsthand eyewitness accounts to collect the writings for the book of Luke. So that's why it's seen as one of the more accurate books of the gospel. Of the Gospels. This long would have played perfectly, and I would have bottom ticked it. Best decision I ever made was turning to God. Amen. Just took that long on NQ, made 1,000. There you go. 1,500. There you go. That was a pretty good bottom tick there with that level, 68.40. What's that top red level? That's a ton of orders. That's a ton of orders, Samir. Yeah, this would have been a good trade. On ES, we would have already been 16 points into profit here. Yeah, I have PJ's indicator. Natty guys. I will never doubt you took it in up 1K right now. There you go, man. Don't. I'm not always right, so don't just blind take my trades. I'll tell you that right now. What would I have been targeting? This New York PM high would have been first TP. Depends on how many contracts you were in. I definitely would be moving stops to trail once we hit this New York PM high here. Orders are still stacked up pretty high. So I'd be targeting all of this buy side. Appreciate that, Sloan. Smart not to overtrade there, man. 50, you know this, man. I mark these out manually. Come on. It's what my pre-market analysis, man. I mark out all these levels. Got out on that long plus 500 on the 50K eval. There you go, Coop. There you go. Oh, you're good, man. Yeah, I mark them out manually. I'm getting a Lambo from Christian Signals. You're going to get it before me, man. Where else are you streaming? On the tube, youtube.com/@ChristianTradesLive. Got orders coming in here down on the downside on ES down to 68.50, and then there's a little break, and then there's more orders at 68.46. So could get a pullback here. We swept that New York PM high, barely. But there's also a bunch of orders higher, so this could just fade the orders lower and keep going lower. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Bookmap's definitely the cheat code. I'll tell you, the Pinto, Kyle, the Pinto has a better audio system in it than the SVJ. I can tell you that. Yeah, BCS. That's part of the reason I was cautious to take this. There wasn't a whole lot of orders on ES below us, but there was on NQ. This, I mean, dude, I'm kicking myself for not trusting my gut and taking this trade, to be honest. But it's all good. Missy, appreciate it. Have a good day. There you go, Ghost. Glad it played out, man. I love seeing that people made money on that. Everybody but me. I think this is just going to keep pumping too. There are orders below it, still down to 68.50. So we'll see. Why didn't I enter, John? I wasn't fully convinced. Wasn't fully convinced. Absolutely, Johnny. Great way to look at it. I'm just kidding. I'm not really bothered by it. Obviously, I like that I'm seeing price well. The key now is just, you know, I don't struggle with this nearly as much as I used to. But just if you are one of the people watching and you miss this trade, don't allow it to get to you and allow you to FOMO into a trade. Wait for another good setup. You'll get another one of these. It's early, man. It's 36 minutes into the session here. You entered late. Oh, VC. I think we get this pulled down to 68.50 here, and then maybe a continuation higher. It'll depend on the momentum created by these orders coming in at this level. But I think we do get a pull to the 68.50. Big order just came in up at 68.60. Yeah, BCS. Yeah, I'm live every day. Yeah, every day this week. I have an 8 a.m. exam on Monday, so not next week. 8 to 11, I'm wrapped up next Monday, but this week I should be good. Yeah, trading state of mind. That's exactly right, man. You got to do your own thing. Can't listen to that stuff. I saw a guy say that yesterday about the longs. I was like, dude, there was plenty of market structure showing shorts. It wasn't like it was like clear as day. It wasn't like just a linear. Yesterday was not linear. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that a lot. I need it. What am I studying? Economics currently. Economics major, Japanese, and real estate minor. I'm gonna call Powell, get him to pump right now. No, I didn't take this. We spotted this 68.40 level here. I mean, that would have been a perfect entry on this. I was 0.5 seconds away from taking this trade, and then I decided just to wait, and it pumped. But a lot of people took it and made some money in here. Bookmap NQ, still looking good to the upside. Still orders to the upside here. Some yanking and pulling going on below us, or excuse me, some pushing and pulling going on below us. But might get a little bit of a retrace and then a move back up. The large orders are still above us here. That's why I have this 68.50 level marked out. I think we could get a pullback into here and then a move higher. You called it on the bottom tick, yeah. How long have you been trading? 4 years. Am I a millionaire? Not yet. Leo says, can you give a quick little breakdown on the bookmap and how it works? Yeah, sure. It shows level 2 data, which is basically where orders are stacked up, aka limit orders. So these lines are limit orders, also known as liquidity. And then what you see happening right here, these are market orders being placed. All these flashes are market orders being placed in this area right here where price currently is. So you see these flashes above and below where price currently is. These are people placing market orders. So price is getting pushed and pulled, and typically price is attracted to the levels where higher liquidity is resting. So ideally you would see, okay, we're going to sweep up this 68.50 level and then we're going to turn around and start going higher. Unless we create momentum, we start picking up right here and people start flashing more. So here comes the 68.50 level. Unless you see people just start there, 68.50. Now we want to see the momentum that comes from this right here. We want to see if that created some momentum to the downside here and people start putting larger orders in below us. So this is a key level. You see there are flash. Yep, there's some larger orders coming in lower here, so we could get pulled even lower now. That's why I say we want to see how price reacts at a certain level. Now those orders kind of chilled out. You got some limit orders placed there. Now orders are coming in higher, up to 68.53 here. Now the orders are coming in a little bit lower, so it's in real time how orders are being, how the price is being manipulated, how it's being driven. So you see that strong pullback. Now you got orders down to 68.46 again. Big orders just coming down to 68.42. We could be going lower here. You got about 639 orders, 640 orders, 600. It's flashing down at 68.42 now. So this could go lower at this point, which would pull it back into the area almost where we opened the long to begin with, potentially here. So we do have 315 orders, 366 orders stacked up at 668.58, 68.53 flashing, or 68.53 just had 478 orders flashed right there, 496 now. Getting ready to take those at 68.53, coming up right now, right, teasing it, right, they're part of it, just got taken, 68.54 now, 68.54, 496 orders just got yanked, flashed again, flashed them back up at 68.60. So that's how it works, man, and that's how it works in my mind. When you ask me how are you reading the book map, that thought process that I just verbalized there is exactly what's going on in my mind while I'm watching this. Now bookmap is chilled out. You got some orders down at 68.46 now, but really just the intense action that was just going on right there just completely chilled out. Yeah, K1, I would say, some people say it doesn't matter. I've had where I've been $80 over before and they made me trade another day. I'd say lose it. What do we pull back into there? we still have orders lit up above and below here in both directions at 68.58 and then 68.47. We're smack dab in the middle of that right now. So this could go either way. So you got 1,000 orders up at 68, 68.58. Exactly, Sean. Yeah, and that's why you read that. It's nice to know where the limit orders are, but you need to be also, if you're using Bookmap, be paying attention to those bubbles, and be paying attention. I have the total volume on so that you can see. It's a combination of the buy orders and sell orders, so you can see which one is in control at that point, buyers or sellers. Exactly, BCS. Yeah. Yeah, that's, you see me sometimes get out of a trade and people are like, oh, why didn't you hold it? It's because of what I'm reading on the book map. Doesn't mean exactly that the book map's going to play out, but you'd be foolish not to take it under strong advisement. Should I close? It's up to you, man. I mean, in order to remove that decision from myself, I put whatever I want my target profit to be for the day. I put that in on Tradeovate on each account. So as soon as it hits that level, it closes, and I don't take another trade. We were targeting this long right here, Jay. I called this out, the 68.40 level, and a lot of people took it. I didn't. I just, for some reason, in my gut, I wasn't super comfortable with it. So I said I was just going to sit on my hands, and as soon as I said that, it just took off. But a lot of people in here made money off of it. I'm happy with that. I'm still long. In my mind, I'm still long here up to these highs. There you go. Yeah, I still like higher too. For sure. Do I trade gold? Nah, I mean, I haven't taken a gold trade in a minute. I've been sticking with ES and NQ, mostly ES, to be honest. Ugh. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, man. From the level that we were looking at, yeah, it was reasonable. Down here at the 68.40, man, we literally, if people had their limit order set where I said at that 68.40 level, not tooting my own horn too hard here, but I had a line drawn right there. I mean, it doesn't get, I mean, that's about as close to a bottom tick as you can get. I'm not sure if it's worth it, BCS. I'm not sure. I've looked into it. Right now, man, I'm seeing enough of, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting enough data where I'm pretty effective with what I have. You know what I mean? So like, do I really want to spend more money right now? I don't know. Pull back into this 15, I might target a long, but what I don't like here is this 15 that's kind of holding price up. This 15's kind of causing us some issues. Can you tell it to go up? Hey, go up. I usually do this when I'm trading by myself. I'm like, go up, go up. It usually works too. I have like a little ritual. It's like, go up. I am, Jay. Yeah, I'm liking the indicator. I didn't use it for this trade today. It didn't. This isn't really within the parameters of that setup. It actually was calling shorts. It was calling longs that pre-market, but it was actually calling shorts when I was eyeballing this long. But overall, yes, I do like it a lot. So yeah, I was calling this short right here and would have gotten stopped out. We get to pull back into this area. I'm going to be tempted to get involved. Bust out the magnets. Watching gold at the moment, it scares me. Dude, I watched it last night. There was a dip. What time did that happen? 8:15 or something p.m. Eastern time. Bro, that was scary. Like, it just tanked. It was calling longs on the 1 hour. I think the 2 hour too. The 2 hour pre-market long that it spotted out in this range, I think. Remember, because I said I wanted to see it come back into the 2 hour. Where was the long that it had? That was what I was really kind of hoping for. Is in this area right here. But yeah, that's the long that on the lower time frames it was calling shorts, but the longs on the higher time frames were definitely the move. I want to see it pull back into this 1 hour potentially, and then a long out of that. 68.45 would be an interesting level. Kind of see where down to 68.40 there's still orders, so we're gonna keep an eye on this. And I'm tempted to take this. We'll see. I'm tempted to take it on MES on a micro because of the fact that we made such a strong move up already. If I get stopped out, my risk is lower. So I'd half my sizing. I'm fine with halving my sizing, but I haven't decided yet. We'll see how price behaves once it digs a little lower. We do still have a lot of liquidity above us here. But I want to see it dig back into the 68.48, 68.47 zone down into here. But this could just tap that 5 and keep running. No 11 o'clock class today. I think this just rips right here, dude. With the way that the setup's looking on the book map. I wanted to see a deeper dig here, but I think we're getting ready to rip. If we get a pullback, like I said, into the 68.48, 68, right down in here, that's when I'm gonna. It's just a question of where would you put your stops. That's why I was thinking about doing micros, because it's like I'd want my stop to be below this swing low right here, and with micros that would be a pretty long, or with minis that would be a pretty long stop. 8-point stop. You're talking $400 for one mini. See if ES or NQ is set up a little better here. I really think this is about to rip. Need this pullback and then we'll see. Yeah, looking for a deeper pullback. According to the book map, there's orders stacked up down to basically the 68.48 level, which would be down into here. So I'd like to see these orders get picked up and then see how it reacts. We have 3 minutes until this 30-minute gap could potentially invert. Could get just a pump without it, but I mean, which is basically what's happening. I'm on YouTube as well. Trying to read this book map, seeing what this wants to do here. Evan, what did you do? There's that 68.40 level again. There's orders coming in lower though. This isn't reacting the same way this time. So let's just be patient here. There's orders down to 68.33 now. Samir, come on. Man, there's a lot of sell pressure here. Holy shit. Excuse my language. Just had a massive... I'm going to 5 micros right here. I'm going to give this a little stab. Stops are going to be pretty tight on this. Stops are going to be pretty freaking tight on this just because of the, let's see, where is the pressure? Yeah, this might. Based on the book map there. We'll see. And then we're targeting, we left behind some buy side up here. Buy side up at 68.67. 68.67 would be the ideal target. Get out up there. Hopefully this reacts well in this zone. We do have orders coming in at 68.37 just below us, so we could scoop up some of that. We still have a lot of liquidity above us here, so we'll just wait and see how it goes in this zone. I think we push back up here, take the 68.37 and then push back up, or we just dump and I get stopped out. So we'll see. Here comes 68.37. There's aggressive orders underneath us here. So I think this takes 60. It could just keep dumping here, to be completely honest. Might have been ill-timed. I'll put it just below this 4-hour right here. We'll see how this goes. We're getting strong sellers here. Strong sellers. What are those two different views? One's the light map, and then the other one's just the regular book map. Remember I told you if you go to configure add-ons, and then you add trade map light, that's the trade map light. Yeah, you definitely need a global plus in CME. That's definitely a must. Patience, 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 patience. Yeah, Zach. Yeah, and you had a BPR. Took it right in the basically smack dab middle of the BPR in 1 hour inversion, 1 hour FEG. So if you see this, touched into that 1 hour FEG right in the middle of this 1 hour inversion. Typically a pretty strong spot to take a trade. Sorry, I'm just locking in on the book map to see. It still has room to the upside here. I'm just not going to let it come back again. Not going to take a chance on it. We're break even, risk free on this trade now. Orders kind of stop at the 160 level. It'd be interesting to see. They were lit up higher a second ago. I'm going to put that just in case we get just a radical spike. I'm going to put that there. Book map's lighting up lower here. I might get out of this. We'll keep an eye. We're going to be very judicious here. See what happens. Big orders up to 68.56, though. I think that it would go a little higher first. It's going to push higher here. Keep this right there. Take that. Not mad about it. $250 times 25. There was a BPR right here. We tap back into this BPR. Definitely feel like this is going to go higher, but took the trade right there, went into a little bit of drawdown, and then it kept pushing. Can't be mad about that. Balanced price range is a BPR. It's where you have this 1 hour inversion bullish with a 1 hour bullish gap inside of it. So that's a BPR. Shake the tree and bounce, that's right. And I could have held this trade or trailed my stops and squeezed a little more out of it, squeezed a little more juice. There is orders up to 68.60 here. And then you'd say, okay, well, we can push to that level and then make the argument of trailing our stops aggressively to see how price reacts at that level. That's fine. But I'm not trying to get crazy here. That's kind of, I'll take this trade. There you go, Randall. Appreciate it, Ghost. Appreciate it, Coop. That was off. That was across 25 fundeds, and let's see, 5 Tradeify evals, 2 my funded future evals, and 1 alpha futures eval. But 25 fundeds, 20 Apex funded 50Ks, and 5 TPTs. Why'd you pull out? It's the level I was looking at on the book map. I mean, I could have held it, gone further, longer, but just what I was comfortable with. I think it keeps pumping, but there's also a lot of orders lit up below us here that were coming in on the book map. You see that? A lot of pressure underneath there. Look at that, getting a push up to the 60 level. Definitely could have held it. You can make the argument for it, but got out where I was comfortable. I saw that, man. I saw that deal you sent me. That's sick. Yeah, I did, Michael. Did. We made 100K in November. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of wild, dude. Kind of wild. I'm hoping for 200 this month. I'm not even joking. No, that sounds crazy to say. I'm not being greedy either. I think it's perfectly realistic with the system I have set up and the leverage that I have. Appreciate that, Jay. How did I learn to trade? Losing a bunch of money. All glory to God. Amen to that. Glad I was here to see you first 100K. Appreciate that, Coop. Glad you're here too, man. I think I'm being completely honest, man. I just saw your text, Mom. Mom's watching the YouTube. Be completely honest, I'm not saying this out of greed or out of arrogance at all. I'm super humble, and I realize that in one day, if I lose my mind and don't follow my rules, I could blow everything and have to start from scratch. But with the system of risk management that I have set up and the amount of leverage, the leverage that I have, I think it's perfectly reasonable to project that within the next month or two, I can start generating between 200 to 350 per month, which would be amazing. But one trade at a time, one day at a time, following the rules, not getting greedy. Appreciate you, Ty. Glad you're green, man. Christian, can my Christmas present from you be a 50K account? I need to figure out how these other content creators give away accounts, man. That would be something that I would definitely like to start doing, being able to give away accounts. We didn't invert this 15 right here, but that candle open on the 5 leads me to believe that we will. Definitely could have held this trade longer. It's all good though. We're up. Yeah, I took some pretty large withdrawals this past month, man. I think the largest one that I took at one time was 30K. That was off of 15 Apex accounts at one time. Most of them, though, because my accounts have been staggered, like they were passed and started trading at different times, Most of them are individual like payouts. So I'll take 2K here, 4K there, and then a big lump sum. So that's how most of it has kind of been. What's 9 plus 10? 19. Flip, actually, believe it or not, October was my first where I took that all in 1 month. I had 10K months where it was like it would span from, I would have a month where I would make like 5 or 6,000, and then I would request the payout at the end of the month that would and not put on too much risk. That you can take a ton of money out of Apex, a ton of money. No, definitely stop for the day. If you're up 1.7 off of that trade, dude. I mean, I called out 2 trades there that played out. That first trade that we played off of here that went up, dude. We were on ES, and that was, dude, that played out for like 20 points or something, close to 20 points, 18 points. So if you took that trade on a mini, you're up. What is that? $800 or something. $750. And then if you took this second trade, you're up even more. I mean, I would say call it a day, unless you just want to keep going. But you do have highs here that could still get swept. You got London high and Asia high here on NQ. I'd be patient though, man. Strong rejection here. This is what I thought we were getting ready to get when I got out of the trade on down here. So that's what was about to happen here. TradeSync, BCS, TradeSync. Or you can just do it. You don't necessarily need TradeSync, but I use TradeSync so that when I take that trade right there, what you just saw, that was mirrored over to all of my other accounts. So I don't have to individually make trades on each account. I can trade this one leader account, and it'll mirror it over to all those other things. The problem is you have one losing day, and it's magnified times however many accounts you're trading to. But if your risk management is in place, you're not greedy, you don't allow. I'll tell you this: when I'm psychologically thinking about how many accounts I'm trading at the same time, it does have a negative mental effect. So my recommendation is get used to just focusing on the fact that you're trading one account. Don't worry about those other ones. Look at it as you're just trading this one account, and allow the results to magnify across all those other ones, or to mirror across all those other ones. Because there can be a psychological barrier that really screws you up when you start to think, oh my God, I'm trading 33 accounts right now. That definitely is a psychological hurdle. There's hardly any slippage with TradeSync. I will say about a year ago, back in January or February of this year, I did run into some issues, definitely. But I have not, for the rest of the year, I have not had any issues. I've been using them for 4 or 5 months now, every day. I have yet to have a really major issue with them where I get screwed. And I also have, just as a backup, I have all of my Trade windows open in tabs, so that after each trade, or if I run into an issue, I can immediately go in there and shut down all the trades. Make sure that I'm flat and that all my orders are canceled. I did trade this. I don't usually trade micros, Michael. I trade minis. But the reason that I did this was we were taking this trade off of this 1 hour BPR, right? that we're in right here, this 1 hour BPR. And my stop was going to be wider than I was willing to risk. So I think my stop was just below this other 1 hour gap. It's actually below this 4 hour gap. So I'm going to do the line was just below that. So that would have been, entry was right there. That would have been almost a 9-point stop. So on one mini, that would have been $450. Not a huge deal, but it was more than I wanted to risk. And with micros, it was half of that, 250 or something, 300, something like that. So that's the only reason I took it on that. I was just making an assessment on where I was going to have to put my stop, what I was willing to lose based on the market structure. Appreciate that, Coop. What version I have? I have the big dog of Trade Sinker. I have the big dog. What's the process of opening all those? I started with one Apex account, took a payout, opened up several more, then just built on it like that. In September, I blew every account that I had and had to start over. Appreciate it, Jeff. Have a good day, man. So basically from September 23rd-ish until beginning of October, that's when I started having my funded accounts all activated again or back up and running. So basically from October 8th on, I've been building this in terms of like taking money from payouts and rolling it back. Do you pray pre-market? Absolutely, man. When I'm getting ready in the morning, I take a shower and I spend most of that time in the shower praying or listening to worship music and praying also. Or sometimes I just be completely silent and just lock in. But I always pray first thing in the morning. Yeah, Ishmael, we took this. If I can declutter this for you. Yeah, focus on one account. If you haven't taken a payout from one account on a consistent, regular basis, focus on that. Definitely what I would recommend. We inverted this 15 here. Cleared up most of that liquidity just then with that little sweep there to the downside. There's still a little bit down to 68.50, which would be right here. But if somebody's still looking for trades, I'd be careful. This tap back into this 5 and then potential continuation. Is my mic cutting in and out over there on the YouTube? You guys having issues? No issues for you? A lot of liquidity above us here. It's 11 o'clock though. I'm going to jump off of here. I have a finals study guide that I need to work on. Got a bunch of finals this week and Monday, so I got to jump into that. But appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate everybody engaging and asking questions and giving your thoughts. Is it bad to use your own money to trade? I have 10K in the TradingView account. Should I leverage a funded account? Absolutely use prop firm accounts. I would use prop firms. Dude, I made the mistake of using personal capital when I first started, and that's not ideal. I would say if you're milking the prop firms for 9 to 12 months of consistent payouts, then start to potentially trade your own personal capital. But until then, I would not put your own personal capital at risk. That's just what I would do. That's what I've heard most successful traders say. That's what I would recommend. Yeah, I got you, futures. I got you, future. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you being here. The trade was based on a balanced price range on the 1 hour BPR. You had this 1 hour bullish inversion, 1 hour bullish gap. Basically took it right there in the gap, and we're targeting these highs. What prop firm is best? Check out Apex for scaling. You can have 20 accounts, up to 20 accounts with them funded. TPT allows for daily payouts. Take Profit Trader does. Tradeify is a good firm. My Funded Futures is a good firm. Alpha Futures is a good firm. Just got to figure out which one is best for you. So, you guys have a good one. Take care. God bless you guys. We'll be back tomorrow.